Lainnya ni satu lelaki dia nampak one day dia nampak saya dia senyum-senyum saya tengok telefon dia. Terus one day he grabbed my phone, he locked himself in the bathroom, dia pergi check semua saya punya messages. And I was like, terus dia keluar, Sabrina, are you having an affair? Dia bilang.
Hey, what's up? You're watching Sip Sip with Egan, episode entah berapa sudah. I think it's 13.
Oui.
Macam 13 sudah kali. So today with me is Sabrina, Melissa,
Arifin.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Arifin.
Saya macam selalu jawab bukan Arifin tapi Ari. Okay. Anyway, si Sabi kami panggil dia. She's a good friend. She's always there in the circle, and a very powerful woman, a very powerful lady, a very super mom gitu. And terima kasih lah kau ada sini hari ini.
Right.
Okay, jangan formal lah, bidak ni. Kenapa saya panggil kau is because I am interested with all these this thing that your apa kau punya perjuangan gitu.
Okay.
Gender equality, what you're doing with Serata. Nanti saya bagi description di bawah. It's Serata is
Society for Equality, Respect and Trust for All Sabah.
Okay, coba cerita pasal tu.
Okay.
Kau canang dulu.
So Serata kan at the beginning memang I always knew that I wanted to do a gender equality organization lah, or to fight for women's rights. But then because I spent 4 months the other day in US, kan because I won this. I was on a fellowship with the Community Solutions Program. So I was in San Francisco for 4 months working with paid leave for US.
Okay.
And masa tu lah yang that I was asked to write about my experiences as a mom di Sabah, mom di Malaysia, because in US not everybody has maternity leave.
Betul ba?
Yeah, not everyone gets paid leave lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then it got me thinking lah. While I was writing that article, I was talking about what are the benefits of me as a mother in Malaysia, and then bila saya sudah beranak terus ada cuti 2 bulan.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I was talking about that lah. It's like we're doing so much better than the US lah, because the US they have 12 weeks of leave, but it is not paid.
Oh.
Yeah, so some people actually even 4 hari lepas beranak pun they have to go back to work because they can't afford to take leave the way that we do. Because it's in our law already kan, once you beranak you have 2 months and it's fully paid by the company, but sana tiada. So far the only state that I know, I think there might be other states as well, but for sure California has a law of paid leave lah. But even then, it's not the best law. They are still looking for ways to amend it. And then, as I was writing that article, then I realized, we keep talking about maternity leave, but in the US, they're talking about leave for all parents, whether you are the father, or whether you're a gay parent, even.
And you're in San Francisco lagi kan?
Yeah, in San Francisco. So
macam
whether
kuat
you're adopting,
kan?
yeah. So it got me thinking when I was writing the article. I was like, wow, we keep talking about equality, and but how come we never talk about men and their role as fathers? How is that equality also lah? So when at the end of the program, we are supposed to develop our own project. So I decided to call it Celebrating Fatherhood. They're
Nice.
basically celebrating fathers lah. And then you were
Oh, Father's Day lagi kan?
yeah, you were one of the people I interviewed kan yang the cerita-cerita.
Oh, that was.
on
Oh, okay,
Instagram.
okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
that was
alright.
part of my initial project.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so I had about 10 fathers, I think more than 10 fathers that I interviewed, and then I wrote down the stories on Instagram. That one lah permulaan Serata. And
Saya potong sekejap. Do you know when you guys did that, it inspired me to do this?
oh ya kah?
Somehow, a few percent lah. Memang saya mau bikin an interview about arts, about social lifestyle, apa segala ni kan. But that triggered that section of my thoughts. Yang why not I focus on people like, you know, like stay home dads
Yeah.
and single parents.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I need to thank you guys for that interview that day. It opened up my thoughts to things like this lah. Okay, sambung.
Okay.
sorry.
No problem ba. Yeah, so itu was the beginning lah. Then I started thinking about how we should, when we promote equality, gender equality, we always have to engage the other half, we call the other half.
Okay.
Because I know there's a lot of program, we always talk about women empowerment, which is really good. I mean, we empower women to be better or become someone more than yang kita biasa nampak lah. Like, we want more women, let's say, in politics, we want more women up there as CEOs. But we also, while we bring women up there, we also need men to come up and, meet us halfway. So I started looking into programs. Memang last time pun when I was working with Sawa for a little while,
Okay.
we had done a program which is teaching men about respect, about healthy masculinity. And then I really liked the idea. So I wanted to expand on that also lah, like doing programs for boys and young men about what it means to be a man. Does it mean that you must be strong, you must be, strict and all that, or is that, not really true lah? Because anyone, a man can be caring also, a man can be loving. That doesn't take away their manliness lah.
True.
Yeah. So far we have, luckily, ada juga kami kena invite pergi before this MCO happened, we were invited to give a talk to yang Kamatan. So let me think about Tanak Bagu.
Oh.
Tanak Bagu Keamatan is a pageant for men, for young men.
Okay.
Ya, so adalah saya kena jemput pergi sharing about healthy masculinity. Yeah, itulah, that was one of the
That's very good.
best, the best part lah.
Siapa organizer dia?
Organizer dia actually is a training company. It's
KDCA
called
lah.
Synergy.
Siapa dengar ni?
Apa sudah? Yeah.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
Oh, bukan
it's
KDCA.
Richard Kontusan and
Oh, okay. I've heard of the name.
yeah.
Bagus oh.
Yeah. So they invite, because before this memang ada juga saya cakap-cakap sikit, like give hint lah, it's very good if we can also get men to be role models when it comes to respecting women, so this is one of the pathways lah. Yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, to say surprising tidak sangat lah, because I guess this is the next step. Macam dulu our Kamatan would be like walaupun bukan saja handsome tapi he's like an entrepreneur gitu.
Yeah.
Dia boleh juga mengajar dan ada business. So I guess this is like the next step for people to get involved with society gitu kan.
Yeah, to be someone, to be a role model that is, to be a real good man, respectful man is someone who respects other people as well, especially women. Begitu Pak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was interesting lah. So hope to be able to do that more. Yeah.
Okay, saya mau korek lagi. You mentioned about women in politics. What's your opinion on that? Macam, what's the current situation? And then, abis dulu, I mean, I have my wife Anne, who memang ada kayak punya discussion about this, and she said like, we need more women in politics, and then come the pilihan raya, and then we have a bit more women coming in.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that masih belum cukup atau is that like how?
Memang
What's your
tidak
opinion?
cukup, langsung tidak cukup, because the minimum lah kan to make a real difference is 30%. So far we only have, so far yang tu hari pun yang bertanding baru, I think less than 15%. And then bila kena elected, and then kena elected pun about 11%, and then now in the cabinet Sabah pun you can see there's only one full minister who's a woman in the
Who's
entire cabinet of 11, which is Christina Liu lah. She's the only full minister.
Ya kan?
Kalau assistant minister ada, we have Jenny Lasimbang, Jen Lasimbang kan.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why like it's like 1 out of 11, like when you look at the population of Malaysia kan, it's 50-50 right? It's 50% women, 50
Oh really?
yeah, 50% female, 50% male.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not reflective of that at all.
Di back of your mind lah kan. Do you see a lot of your cliques atau your circle community or your geng-geng lah yang kalau dia ada and dia bertanding confirm saya undi? Ada ramai kah yang begitu punya characteristics? Women lah.
I think boleh bah tu. I mean, I think one of the things that hold us back kan macam, for me lah, because pernah ada orang tanya aku mau bertanding.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to that.
Sometimes dalam ada juga orang tanya, marilah kau pergi bertanding lah. I was like, hah? Terus saya punya imagination kan dalam otak saya, habis lah saya punya tu semua, saya punya cerita kena korek-korek lah. Yang
I guess memang begitulah kan.
habis lah
Kau tahu dia ni dulu.
Ya.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think that's the thing that's running through most women punya minds lah if they want to run, because I think society is quite cruel to women, and even you can see like any politician that's women lah, habis di pakaiannya dia kena cakap-cakap lah, saya boleh nampak kau punya buah dada, saya boleh nampak siapa tu.
How? I mean, you personally, does it make you feel like it's so? Memang it's degrading, memang memalukan.
Yeah.
But still, these people they use that as ammunition.
Yeah, they use that to shut you up lah, basically, like.
Tidak cara lain kah? I mean, dia boleh kah kau?
Yeah, I don't know lah, but generally I don't think Malaysian politics is very mature. It's like not everyone can speak in a mature way, discuss the issue on hand. Kan, even if you look on social media, terus tiba-tiba yang lain-lain dicakap, yang cakap pasal kau punya rupa lah, kau punya bangsa lah.
And these things tiada kena mengena ni semua tu orang.
Mengena, dia mau kasih malu kalau supaya kau diam bah, begitu gitu. Ya. Kalau kau tidak tahan tukul nak habis lah.
I don't know. I feel kan macam the women that I grew up with kan, my mom, and not to say dirang politician, tapi kan dirang jenis yang macam kalau dirang kena kutuk kan, I mean it's women's nature yang dirang akan retaliate.
Yeah.
Kau tunggu. Kau cakap begini, kau tunggu. Kambang dulu saya.
Ya bagusnya.
Mami sen ni.
Kalau saya punya mom is always janganlah kau nanti kopi Kepayan, dia bilang. Sekarang memang pun saya tinggal di Kepayan. So dulu Kepayan tu betul lah tu, atau jail kan di sana. Tempat lock up.
I guess our parents jenis orang-orang yang post war kan. bapak yang kerja balik penat, and then the mom
Memang
suruh
jaga.
anak-anak jangan lagi kamu nakal-nakal, bapak sudah pulang, pegang buku, like that kan. Sekarang bapak balik sama saja, which is okay, which is
Semua
okay.
orang bekerja juga.
Yeah, both parties are doing their part. But yeah, I'm talking about parents lah. Dirang masih ada itu, how you say ya? Kalau bilang kolot macam terlampau kasar pula. How ah? Macam mau jaga hati gitu bah. If they meet you like berdepan sudah memang benci sudah ni kan.
Ya.
Still like
Dia menahan-nahan.
ya
sudah
macam
tapis-tapis.
bukan semua masalah kau, tapi kan kalau kau boleh kasih bagus ni kan bagus sikit begitu. Padahal dalam hati kan yang batatak sudah ni.
Kalau saya ada skill yang saya boleh pick up kan, itulah saya mau yang pandai tiba-tiba pandai bercakap nih, yang pandai tegur orang. Tapi ini
Oh, in that sense I think I'm very diplomatic. Okay, coming back to that. Now you're doing Serata, you're doing all these works yang all these advocacy kan. If lah kemudian yo terjerumus masuk politik, would you mind your past kena korek?
kalau if I think about it kan memang saya takut juga lah.
Because I feel you're quite open now.
Yeah, I'm quite open, but because I think it's also religiously kan I'm not a very good
Okay.
person in my religion, nanti kena bilang ya itulah. Tapi
Malaysia boleh bah,
but
tapi
I think Sabah okay lah. Sabah is open kan to this.
I think so.
Hope so lah.
Sekarang saya tengok Sabah macam banyak sudah yang conservatives.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good thing kah, if it's a bad thing, or it's just me being diplomatic.
For me kan, I feel a lot of people kan they don't want to be old, but for me kan I'm glad to be old because kalau masa kau muda sebagai perempuan kan macam-macam orang macam look down on you, but once you grow up a bit older kan, then people's perception of you change bah. So it's like people are more open to your thoughts and ideas, compared to if I was a flighty young person.
Betul juga kan?
Yeah.
Kita rehat sekejap. Kita iklan dulu.
We are entering the era of the new normal. How do we survive these new days? Here are some things we can practice. The 3 C's we should avoid: crowded areas like shops or markets, confined spaces such as elevators and other small enclosed rooms, close conversation with others. Always keep at least 1 meter distance from anyone you're talking to. Practice the 3 W's. Wash your hands regularly, wear a mask whenever you have to go out, and always warn others whenever needed. Hashtag kita jaga semua.
You are married, obviously. And boleh ya? Saya masuk ini cerita.
Yeah.
So during my interview with si Nera, you commented. I mean, saya sengaja betul share sama kau because I know we click in that sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect you would share in Facebook. So when you shared that, it triggered me yang, wait, this is heavy.
Yeah.
And you are willing to share that you have been through the same situation. Can you? Saya mau tanya lah, I mean, apa jadi?
Okay.
What you're willing to share?
Okay, so I was memang I was growing up kan, I felt like.
Are you comfortable with this? If you're not,
I'm
yeah, okay.
Okay, waktu ni.
Risau ni.
Okay, so kalau saya kan, when I think about it, memang saya dulu.
Sekejap, can you take your mic atas sikit?
When I was
Okay.
growing up, I was macam quite overprotected, I would say lah.
Okay.
So for me, I don't know, I never had much confidence in myself. Dari I was like, I don't know lah. I had a lot of self-confidence issues lah when I was growing up, maybe because I was wearing geeky glasses lah, or I always felt like mungkin saya ada gemuk-gemuk lah. So when my first time saya keluar pergi college kan, and then suddenly it's like a whole different life for me. It's like suddenly, wow, I'm independent, I can do this, I can do that.
Tahun berapa ni?
It's 1997.
Ada RC sudah kan?
Yeah. 1997. Ya, saya pergi CBFP college for the first time, and basically still learning about myself lah. And then I met lah this person and become my first boyfriend at the time. And for me, I guess because I grew up kan macam this idea that kalau lelaki kan mesti jadi ketua, perempuan ni less lah, like you know, like doing the supportive work. So it didn't cross my mind that he was a toxic person, yang abusive until much later. Because for me it was like, oh, it's normal, but this is how relationships are. So it's dari awal pun you can see he has a very bad temper.
Okay.
Macam when I was just turning about 19, I think. Yeah, 19 years old. And ada something lah yang dia tidak puas hati, you know, yang dia tidak puas hati, and you know, at being a very young person the time also saya pun kuat merajuk lah. So kami bergaduh, and then I didn't want to talk to him. Saya malas sudah ni orang. And then the next thing I know kan, I was just talking to him and say get out of my way gitu kan. Next thing I know I was flying across the room, you know. I was flying across the room terus jatuh on top of this coffee table.
Shit.
Inside the apartment, which is in the hostel lah di college tu. And then yang saya terkejut lah, yang saya terbaring di sana kan, I was like, why am I on the floor like begini? And then he is terus macam, oh I'm so sorry, and you know, macam minta kesian betul lah, yang you know, like I will never do this, and then sampai yang tidak mau tinggalkan, you know, did refuse to leave my room for the entire night, you know. So even that should have been a red flag lah, that sort of behavior, you know.
True.
But for me macam, oh it's okay lah, I forgive him, you know. So we continued on, and then
Wait, ini sebelum kahwin lah?
sebelum kahwin,
Okay.
ya masih berdating lagi.
Okay.
Sudah ada that sort of tendency, and then it showed in macam ways yang actually nowadays I think about it, it's very toxic lah. Macam he would not let me spend time alone, you know, mesti mau together, everything must be together all the time, you know, macam romantic lah betul kunun. But for me it's like macam sudah yang macam tercekik sudah punya rasa ni, tapi it's okay, it's
A bit possessive lah.
Yeah, possessive lah. And itulah, and then tidak lama after that, because I got pregnant, and then gave birth to my child. I was only 19 that time, belum pun 20 yet, but the year I was turning 20 lah. And because of this, kena paksa kahwin lah with this man. I remember yang my so-called wedding day lah kan, macam yang I feel like, even my mother would say this now kan, dia bilang, oh, I look at you kan that time macam yang tiada perasaan ni ba, you know, like completely, you know, blank my face the entire wedding, like it's like apa, oh I don't know what's going on through my mind. Sampai yang my auntie pun datang, kau tidak mau pakai makeup kah? Because ini macam nikah biasa lah kan.
Oh,
okay. Kau tidak mau pakai makeup kah? I was like, I don't want to wear makeup. So it's like, it doesn't feel like a special day punya rasa ni.
Okay.
It's like it's basically like the lamb taken to slaughter punya.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. So even during my pregnancy, my mom pun ada notice juga lah. She was saying kan, because ada sekali kami bergaduh lagi while I was pregnant, and he locked me out of the room, my bedroom. And saya ketuk-ketuk, you know. And that time I was in my parents' house, you know. I didn't want to wake up everyone else, so I just ketuk-ketuk lah di pintu. Bangun, buka pintu. Terus my mother punya mengamuk, dia bilang, Ma, apa? Dia kunci pintu. Mana tuh kunci? Dia bilang. Gitu. So, I mean, she saw all these things kan, tapi I don't know. I think there's not a lot of education. There's not a lot of awareness about what is a abusive relationship, and then what are the steps that you should take lah. So for me, I didn't feel like I have the support. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know I was in an abusive relationship actually. Yeah, so bertahun-tahun lah begitu kan. I just like okay lah, and then it occurred to me kan after many years, because after I gave birth, I went back to school juga. I went back to do my degree, and then I did my degree pun I felt
He let you study juga lah?
Sama-sama college lah.
Okay.
Sama college, same course.
Right.
He was like 1 semester ahead of me lah, tapi I managed to catch up and then bypass dia.
Wow.
As in, because I enjoyed studying. So at the first semester I did very well lah. It's like, wow,
Apa kau belajar dulu?
Business, accounting lah actually. So my first semester I was like doing so well. My marks came out. I was like, wow, so happy. And then Mama, he was like, also like, wow, I'm so happy. My wife is clever, dia bilang, because they fail, all that. And then second semester, same thing lagi. He failed, but I passed, And then, wah, gembira. Terus, tapi lama-lama kan yang macam he feel macam resentful ni, that I was doing well, tapi he was not doing well. So start lah tu yang macam, because kau tahu how to suck up to your lecturer bah, dia bilang begitu.
Okay.
And then when other students bilang, because one day I was writing an essay kan, and then the lecturer said, "Wah, I think this is the best essay lah," dia bilang in this.
Were you guys like in one class together at one point?
At one point, yeah.
Okay.
We were in one class together lah. So itulah, and then one of the lecturers said, "Oh, she did a very good essay, and this is something that you should all ikut lah kan." Terus dia dengar because somebody else kan kasih tahu lah, oh ya Sabrina, so ini kan, terus dia macam marah ni, dia tidak suka orang puji-puji, orang lain puji-puji, teruslah start the so as for me kan macam I never realized begitu, because I felt macam itu keadaan biasa sudah. Tapi ada yang some point in my time kan, I was like, wow, it's been a week kok kami tidak bergaduh, that sort of thing. Sampai begini, wow, if you can say 1 week tidak pandai bergaduh is a good thing, there's something like a bit, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Macam a kilang without accidents.
Yeah, it's like, wow, because masa tidur pun macam yang kalau dia tidak puas hati, somebody's gonna sleep on the floor, and that's usually me. Kena tolak tiba-tiba tengah malam, kena tolak di lantai.
Okay, kita ubah topik lah.
Ya.
Saya pun sedih.
Stres sudah.
Is he like anak tunggal atau anak bongsu, atau is there a theory behind that?
Theory is because he said lah, according to him, his father was abusive and then had an affair.
Right.
Yeah, had an affair and had another kid with some other woman, and he saw how his mother was very devastated when she found out that the father was cheating on her lah. So he uses that an excuse lah. Every time katakanlah saya nampak somebody doing well, saya puji-puji, especially if it's a guy lah kan. Aku puji-puji dia, terus siapa lah tu? Has he ever been in my shoes? You know, that sort of thing.
Right.
Macam rasa dia lebih apalah. Tapi but it's actually apa tu? Dia sendiri pun I feel like he didn't have the confidence. He also felt like relationship is the way for him to validate his worth lah. That's what I think is the thing. So now when I think about it, I don't really. I mean, I feel like I've forgiven already. I mean, for a long time kan memang saya rasakan kalau saya nampak ni orang lagi memang I will like kick him in the balls, you know, that's yang I don't know, yang I'm not usually an angry person bahkan. Tapi kalau saya teringat balik kan yang tiba-tiba yang I feel like I wanna, you know, tiba-tiba mau
And I guess you're stronger now in a sense.
Yeah.
Lagilah kau, if I can go back in time.
Yeah, tapi but then when I think about it kan, maybe because it's all this after so many years of learning about abusive relationships, why people are the way they are, I feel macam a bit more like forgiving lah that this sort of thing happened to me. So how I got out of the relationship pun because I was away, itu pun dia tidak suka betul kan, because I continued my studies in Australia for a year lah to do my masters. At that time masa dia tahu tu, my god, mengamuk dia, ini gini apa dia mau tinggi sana satu orang gini. And then when I was there kan, I felt like so free ni, so independent, yang so gembira saya ni di luar sana di Australia.
Dia dah pergi sana.
Dia tidak pergi ke sana because it's also his pride juga lah. If he can't, I think he will feel like if he can't afford to go, he will not go, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
but for me nasib baik lah.
So was it like a mutual understanding, like okay, we
No,
go
it was
separate?
not. It's at first mama okay lah, but itulah, it's like he would call me many times, macam mesti ada, kalau message tu mesti first thing in the morning, mesti jawab, you know. But because he's so far away kan, I felt protected lah. I felt like I was safe where I was there. So adalah jumpa-jumpa kawan-kawan, new friends, and then ada juga lah guys interested in me. And then the way other guys treat me kan, then I realized kan, this is, you know, it's different, you know. I feel like macam I was respected, and that I felt like I was treated like I never felt like I was treated that way by yang macam not fully respected, you know, or seen for who I was. And so when I came back, you know, still chatting lagi sama orang. I mean, nothing really happened with me lah, with the guy, but we still continue lah chatting, you know, talking about things when I came back. And then sekalinya ni satu lelaki, dia nampak one day, dia senyum-senyum saya tengok telefon dia. Terus one day he grabbed my phone, he locked himself in the bathroom, dia check semua saya punya messages. And I was like, terus dia keluar, Sabrina, are you having an affair? Dia bilang. Terus dia bilang, no. Terus dia mengamuk, dia bawa my parents semua berjalan, bercerita, talking about how I was cheating on him gitu. Itu masa tu di KL batu. That time because he was still studying, I thought I wanted to continue working lah in KL after I came back from Australia. Sampai ada sudah batu, ada job interview sudah tu with an audit firm. And macam rasa-rasa pun I felt like macam dapat sudah ni kerja. And then this happened.
Oh.
And this happened yang he wanted to control everything. Terus my mom bilang kan, Sabrina, if you're going to work in KL kan, I think you better get your own house. Don't live with him, dia bilang.
Oh, at that point sudah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, apa yang mama aku ni cakap ni? Tapi ya dia tengah malam, because of that incident, that night I was still wearing my pajamas. I was sleeping in the room with my parents at that time kan. Terus tiba-tiba dia datang, oh we're going for drink. We're going we're going to talk outside. So I was like, saya pakai pajamas batu kan. Saya dalam tu bilik, I was like, okay, mau talk outside, maybe he wants to talk in the corridor kah, or with. Sekalinya dia bawa aku keluar, pakai my pajamas, pakai slipper begitu, tiada IC, tiada apa-apa. Dia bawa, put me in the car, brought me all the way to Ceras. And shouting and screaming at me in the car, gitu. So it was like, for me it's very intimidating lah. Yeah, sampai
This guy is, I mean, sorry, saya tak kenal dia. I mean, is he Sabahan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sabahan.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, so gitulah. Yang in the middle of nowhere, I've never been there. I don't have my IC. Semua baju pun yang apa ni? It's like, I was like, I don't know. Sampai my mom pun panik sudah ni bahkan yang tengah malam your daughter hilang tiba-tiba in the middle of the night, leaving everything. Saya bilang, kenapa ba kau ni kamu orang dia marah sama tu lelaki lah? Because she takut he was gonna murder me or something.
I guess.
And then my father tidak batu. Dia bilang mana lah dia mau bunuh saya Sabrina. Yeah. But kalau begitu sih masakan, but it repeated so many times yang way he put me in the car and just drive away, screaming at me. Yang bila saya punya duit pun baru RM1 saya dalam wallet. Saya pun was like, kalau aku lari dari ni kereta kan, apa sih mau buat ni? Macam mana? That time belum ada Uber, belum ada RM1.
Betul juga kan?
Iya. Ataupun phone dia pergi ambil, tengah-tengah pagi-pagi dia nampak phone saya ada message, saya tidak suka kan, terus nak habis saya phone dia kasih pecah.
Berapa banyak phone kau pecah?
Only remember that one time lah dia nampak phone dia kasih pecah dia, tapi dia time Nokia kan, Nokia, so dia krak gitu kan, tapi masih still okay what.
Betul.
So what I did was I kept one secret phone lah, yang saya tampuk-tampuk around my parents' house.
And this is not healty sudah kan? I mean, you have to keep it.
Sampai it was because I was at that point I was sampai living in Labuan sudah by myself because ada kerja di sana. Yang itu pun I think one of the things that saved me lah, my sanity, yang saya dapat kerja yang di luar di Northern KK. And him not being a graduate kan, dia susah sikit mencari kerja kalau macam like me. Kalau for me like senang saja, saya dapat kerja di Labuan in finance, okay lah.
So
Yeah.
eventually you guys, what you guys got the divorce? So
Yeah. Itulah. So leading up to that, because I was away, and after a while kan saya rasa every time saya pulang pun saya tapuk-tapuk around my parents' house.
okay.
Because after he found out about all this kan, he decides to station himself in my parents' house.
Oh,
Yeah, dia tinggal di sana. So every time I come home, I want to see my daughter kan, pun macam I feel like macam takut ni mau pulang every time. Sampai yang because but it's a bed and breakfast kan, so bertapuk-tapuk lah saya around the room, yang mana-mana yang saya rasa dia spender dapat cari sama saya. Sampai anak pun
so you're there but you're not there gitu lah.
Ya.
Begitu gitulah.
Sunyi begini, sudah keluarga yang yang sudah.
Berapa tahun nih? I mean, how long did you have to suffer this?
Macam I think about 2 years.
Shit.
Yang
okay.
my daughter pun macam dia sudah dia biasa yang sampai kesian juga sama dia lah, because I had to macam make her kan macam yang kalau saya mau tapuk-tapuk, and then I said, ask Ashley, can you ask your father, macam distract him while I go to his room. Terus dia adalah, hai papa, ini tapi kesian banget, dia dah kena layan. It's like he would pride himself kan, bilang, oh I'm the father, I'm your husband, so benci. For many years kan I hated the word father, I hated the word husband, because the way he put it kan macam frame it in a way yang possessive bah. Yeah. So for me it didn't turn. Memang ada my mom bilang, bagus kau buat report lah, kalau kamu takut mau pulang sampai begini kan, kau you're so afraid to go home, you should do a police report. But for me it's like, buat police report yang macam biar betul ni, because there's no awareness about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so until the thing that made me take action kan was because he started directing his abuse towards dia punya anak.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. If
So is it
that
physical?
what happened, yeah. So macam let me ada backstory sikit lah. So my daughter ni kan, she doesn't feel comfortable around him.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes he said, oh ada dinner lah, what lah, you must come. And then I don't want to go. Tapi saya bilang, oh you go lah because it's your father kan. So he said she doesn't want to go alone. So saya suruh dia bawa cousin dia lah, whatever sama-sama. Itu pun dia kena bising-bising. Oh kau bilang, oh kau what are you trying to tell your daughter about me? Dia bilang begitu. Sampai your daughter tidak mau spend time with me. I was like, if you really care about your daughter, kau sendiri pandai cari sama dia, cakap sama dia, do find ways to spend time with her kan. Tapi langsung tiada. I felt like it's cara dia mau tangkap saya lah, again keep me in the relationship. So that one day she refused to go. She refused to go to the father, and then the father mengamuk, and then she ran away to her on the bathroom and locked herself in. And then this man marah, dia pergi ketuk-ketuk bang yang tendang the bathroom door, and then my daughter inside was screaming lah, dia ketakutan di dalam. Terus my sister nampak, apa, what are you doing? Terus dia ambil selipat, dia pergi umban sama tu, And when I heard about this, I was in Labuan that time kan. I said, okay lah, I'm coming home. And this is yang that time yang sudah saya dengar begitu kan, yang okay lah, I'm gonna face this man kan, tell him exactly what I think lah. Woi, satu kali saya memang panik betul lah, saya rasa that time dia macam takut betul kan, yang terus tiba-tiba dengar him driving up to the house and then nampak saya. I was like, I still don't remember actually. Maybe I think it's blanked in my mind. But anyway, I remember tu lah yang macam saya nampak sudah dia mau gaduh-gaduh kan, dia punya sorak makin naik sudah kan. I was like, okay, I better get out of this house because banyak barang yang boleh pecah-pecah di sini. So let's talk outside lah. Baru saya tukar begini, saya mau ambil selipar saya begini. Tiba-tiba pang, saya boleh rasa di belakang kepala saya begini. Terus saya bilang, did you hit me? Saya marah, what the hell? Saya marah sama dia lah, macam begitu. No, I did not hit you, dia bilang begitu. Terus at that night lah saya buat police report. It was about 12 at night. Buat report. Saya suruh saya punya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boleh publish ke ni?
Okay lah. Panjang
Okay.
tak?
No, I mean, saya tak kisah panjang.
Yeah.
I don't mean to disrespect the ex-husband or any party here. We're just here to learn from whatever that we can take in lah kan. What? Okay.
It's been over 10 years.
So sekarang okay sudah?
I feel okay lah, but sometimes kadang-kadang saya rasa saya terjumpa dia. Ada satu kali saya di SenQ sini pun saya rasa I was happy day about the day kan.
Okay.
I was laughing
that.
with my son. Hari-hari tu saya nampak di muka lah. Saya it's a familiar face. Aku senyum. Terus saya was like, oh shit, isn't that?
Oh man.
Shit, isn't that my ex? Terus di muka yang macam gitu saja, like serius yang macam tidak kenal saya ni.
I guess.
Saya punya divorce pun saya buat yang 3 years after I did my police report, baru saya did all this divorce proceeding. Itu pun mau to get the strength to do this, bahkan because even doing the report, pergi hospital, pergi polis, pergi kebajikan kan, it was so draining for me. It was like so penat kan. I went back to Labuan, saya bilang I cannot do this, tapi I have to do this. That sort of.
So when you technicalities when you file for divorce, do they like kau sudah fikirkan nih masak-masak? Did they counsel you lagi kah?
This one because my case after I did the police report dia terus lari, dia terus kasih tinggal lah. It's like completely no contact.
Oh, okay.
So for me, for under Islamic rules kan, it's very simple lah. Sudah ada cerita.
Straightforward lah.
Yeah, straightforward sudah. Yeah. So Sharia court didn't ask a lot
I
of
did not
questions.
expect this tonight.
Ada stress na tu lah kau.
Okay. Fast forward.
Okay.
Your husband now. How do you feel?
I feel
Ini saya mau kipas-kipas dia punya, because the husband is my friend, so
I feel comfortable lah. Of course lah, memang yang still ada yang bickering here, marah-marah biasalah, but it doesn't feel to the point that I feel unsafe. And now for me, because I feel like I've grown enough to the point yang saya boleh marah orang balik, say what I'm feeling right now, that sort of
you can be honest lah.
Yeah, I can be honest. That's the very important thing. Kalau saya marah betul, apa kau ini yang terus.
And he won't understand that.
Yeah, I will understand. Yeah.
Okay, ada happy ending. Oh my god.
And most important, dia jaga anak dia. So, I mean, you can see the connection with him and his child compared to, kesian my daughter ni. Kesian dia kan, sampai dia bilang masa Father's Day yang everybody tu lukis-lukis all the craft materials for Father's Day, dia bilang, I don't know who to make this card for, dia bilang. Kesian lah di sekolah.
True. Oh, okay. Relax.
Yeah.
Okay, ubah topik. Ubah.
Ubah.
Kejap. Okay.
Yeah.
Dari politics, previous family, current family. Now we go to, I think, yang ringan sikit lah. MCO, yes. How was MCO to your kids? Did they enjoy it? Atau because they see you guys every day?
The funny thing kan, my MCO started earlier kan, because I was in contact with someone with.
Oh, yeah.
So saya terpaksa stuck di rumah lah awal sikit, tapi at the same time my husband sama anak sama-sama with the house with me.
Okay.
I think there's no one happier in the world kan masa terpaksa tinggal di rumah dan si Robert, my husband. When I said, you know what? I think I'm in contact with COVID-19 person. Terus boleh nampak bersenyum dia. Ya gitu.
Are you happy? Okay. You're always busy lah. Kau selalu sibuk lah.
That time ngam-ngam baru habis doing one project kan, so I was just doing the admin side, accounting. So okay juga lah duduk di rumah, tapi at the same time nampak anak lompat-lompat di sana. So hyper lah gitu.
I would imagine.
Yeah. At the beginning of the MCO, I was like, mati lah, aku punya anak kan yang social kan.
Yeah.
So not meeting anyone for the next few weeks kan, memang apalah gaya dia. But surprisingly kan, dia suka.
Oh.
Because ada mami saja 24/7.
True. Yes.
Mami lah jadi best friend dia. Sikit-sikit mami.
Dia prefer kau lah dari the dad.
Yeah, the dad yang I'm the good cop, the dad is the bad cop.
Oh. Okay.
Dia the father yang do all the discipline.
Kau pendakwa raya lah.
Yeah.
Dia peguam bela.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, and then you guys live in an apartment lagi kan?
Oh my god, dia kecil lagi
Dia
tu
boleh.
tempat tu. It's like
I cannot imagine. Kalau kami boleh lagi keluar.
yeah. So sometimes kami tengah malam because tidak tahan kami tunggu sampai malam macam begini. Yang masa tiada orang di luar, itulah masa kami take a long walk outside.
Oh.
Wearing mask. Because kalau tidak, you stuck in the house saja kan.
Satu kali kau keluar tengah malam banyak orang nih. Kau pun keluar nggak?
Ya Pak.
But I mean, what else? I mean, as a family, did the bond makin kuat, atau makin gila? I mean, yeah, with kids.
Yeah.
Our kids go to the same school, and dia punya homework kira banyak ke tu?
Oi, mula-mula I thought I can handle it. Sekali lama-lama kan, nanti rumah tengok janganlah gini. I keep downloading the homework into the laptop kan, tapi lepas tu
Penuh. Okay, kami tidak mau mention sekolah mana satu. Tapi, dia punya.
I mean, if it's just one subject per day, I think I can handle. Tapi ini kadang-kadang macam 3 subject by in one day. Aku pun like, where am I gonna find this time? You know, I'm working also. Kau rasa aku tidak kerja kah? You know.
At one time, diorang punya exercise book habis kan?
Yeah,
And then,
exactly.
yes! The parents and the kids happy ni dua-dua. Like, okay, this is messed up, man.
Ya, kadang-kadang dia boleh, kalau dia punya mood datang kan, terus dia mau kasih habis the entire workbook ni, dia mau tulis-tulis. Ya.
Oh, mine teda begitu. She likes to draw. I mean, my daughter. Dia suka color. Tapi kalau dia ikut saya. Kalau mau menuliskan, susah ni.
Macam ni, my anak pun dia nak berapa lah yang look segala tulis-tulis ni, because he's a very physically active kid. Kau mau suruh dia duduk punya susah. Once in a while lah ada mood dia.
Itu ngam jadi anu tu.
Ya.
Jadi apa? All these gym people.
Kami kasih ketawa kan, ini memang joke ni besar ni. Joke ni.
Who knows? Boleh berjaya dia betul. Well, it's a good thing we all survive MCO.
Yeah.
And I guess it's good for you. Kamu punya family dua-dua in KK.
Ya, dua-dua in KK, so it's helpful juga lah.
So do you like curi-curi pergi?
Curi-curi, ya, definitely. Saya terpaksa juga curi-curi pergi my parents di sana di Likas. Actually dua-dua pun, both side pun somewhere in Likas lah.
Oh, senang sikit lah.
Ya. Terus kalau saya masih tinggal di rumah sama my parents kan senang, you know.
Ya, and kalau punya compound pun luas.
Iya. Woi.
What else? Oh, going to back to the root. This all this gender equality. Living now with your husband, with the kids, and you said dia jaga the anak. I guess the reason why kau memperjuangkan all these gender equality issues is because of your previous marriage and probably now kan. How is your perspective with your husband? I mean, do you guys see things the same way atau differently or
I mean, for him, he is also a self-proclaimed feminist also.
okay.
Yeah, so he understands all these women's rights, but at the same time ada juga kadang-kadang saya marah-marah juga.
I guess, yeah.
Because there's certain perspective yang he doesn't really understand juga lah about women's reactions to, let's say, sexual harassment. Macam begitu, and then sometimes for me like, you know, like
Kenapa kau tempai pam-pam?
Yeah, but he is very, you know, feminist lah. But I would say he's a devil's advocate, you know, type of person because dia pandai. Some people might find it irritating lah because he's an apologist.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I see where they're coming from. You know, just kenapa kau? It's like, stop.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay.
Dia selalu gitu. Yes. On the other hand, dia selalu begini. Aku pun like, whose side are you on? Like ini.
he has ini sesi mau 4 laki. He has he twist your perspective,
Ya, dia pandai see.
which is
all-
good, I
all
think.
sides. Ya.
Bikin frust lah kadang-kadang kan, tapi
Kenapa
but,
aku begini nih? Gitu.
but
Ya.
it stops you yang wait a minute, this might be the other half of the world.
Yeah. Sometimes that sort of perspective is also good if you're strategizing lah, because it shows you what the other person might be thinking kan.
True.
Yeah. So helpful lah. But so lah, that's why lah because he's the co-founder also of Serata. Sometimes he does the thinking and I do the doing, you know. I guess that's how
You're
we
a doer.
work together. Yeah, I'm the doer.
Okay. I can see that now. Okay.
Yeah.
Apa lagi? Saya habis soalan sudah.
Balik sekolah.
Oh ya, balik sekolah. Are you worried?
Am I worried? For me, saya sangat-sangat lega anak mau balik sekolah.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm just curious about the school lah. How do they plan to go about it? I know there's a lot of parents that are worried lah, bilang nanti begini, nanti begitu. But for me, I think I trust them to know what's best also for the kids. I mean, to
Really?
do things, yeah. I think they also have their expertise. Sometimes we think we have all the expertise, but they
Oh,
also,
yes.
they also know, yeah.
Saya selalu terfikir yang alah jaga budak siapa tu. After MCO,
You know.
I feel like cukup kah gaji dia orang ah? Macam, after seeing your kids, ini baru satu.
Yeah. I mean, that's
That's
there's always the risk lah that you know, COVID-19 is not something that's gonna disappear anytime soon. But it's come to the point and I think we have to live with it lah. You know, they're always with the risk. That's why we have to manage it. And
Betul.
yeah, otherwise how are we supposed to live? Kan? It's like I don't think I can continue being a work from home mother if my kid is with me 24/7. Aku kan gila nanti. Nanti ada yang kena buang dari adalah barang kena buang dari atas apartment.
So you're doing Serata full time lah now?
I do Serata, but I also doing some research work lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Doing research work. So thank goodness ada juga duit lah. So I feel really grateful. Yeah.
Sejak saya interview orang, saya makin jumpa kerja yang pelik-pelik nih.
Ya lah.
Yang I never thought would be. I guess it's the threshold of a country lah.
Ya.
Dulu kerja begini saya boleh cari makan. Dan lepas tu ada lain lagi lapisan. So probably after this, I mean we have gamers yang dapat juta-jutaan ringgit
Yeah.
main game, like what? Dulu kita main game kena rutan, geng. Okay.
Main lah kau.
Ya bah. Okay, Sabi.
Okay.
I thank you very much for this.
Right. Banyak pula bisa bercakap militer tadi kan.
Okay, ngam itu ngam. These are the things. I mean, since Rata started, I mean, my wife and me are a big fan. We are like registered with you guys, bahkan.
Yeah, registered bah.
All the
Fully legit.
all the paperwork bini yang bikin saya macam. But yeah, these are the things yang mesti we talk about and we need to talk about it, but it's not talked about enough.
Okay.
And I feel orang selalu cakap kalau ada 10 macam kau,
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
We need more and more people who are willing to talk about gender equality, sexual harassment, sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my god, all the offices yang saya pergi kan, ada saja that one guy yang, okay ba ni? Dia okay ba tu?
Dia main-main saya betul.
Yeah, dia main siya. Yeah, it's always like that. And for other people yang they don't talk about this enough. They feel like they anticipate things like this, bah. Oh, kalau dia datang mesti dia buat begini. So we just laugh along lah.
Oh gosh.
And it has become, sad to say, our culture
Yeah.
to be part of this.
I think orang kita tidak suka kasih malu orang lain, bah, itulah. It's like
Yeah.
if we say something nanti malu tuh orang, kesian dia. You know, that's the.
And I find myself in these kind of situations lalu, and as easy it is to say yang okay, kita kena buat begini, jangan kasih ketawa benda macam tu. It's still very hard. There's like apa orang bilang, there's a gravitational pull for you to be unconsciously involved. Kau terjerumus juga.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we can, mungkin pelan-pelan lah. I mean for me, just avoid these kind of conversations, avoid this kind of environment. I guess the office now is, I mean where I work in, I've put enough effort
Okay.
to make it not gender bias kalau boleh. I mean my pengarah is a lady,
Okay.
and which is super awesome. And you can see how okay, ini sesi kipas bos. And you see how governance is under a lady, which
Oh,
is
yeah?
super fun.
Wow.
Yang okay, kita punya schedule, kami punya office, kamu tahu juga kan kerja mana. So kami ada schedule bah, yang okay, this jabatan kena kerja begini hours, begini hari. Tapi under her, dia boleh pergi cakap sama the top guy, and then discuss, and then told all the stuff in this department kan. Okay, those yang ada anak, yang selang-seli kerja sama bini, sama laki, you guys can do this. To a point where kami semua comfortable lah, and I get this peace of mind yang I can jaga my anak besok, my wife, and it only happened in our department.
Wow.
Yeah.
Syoknya.
So, boss, I love you. Yeah, and not to say ada department tidak bagus, but I guess these are the little things that a lady boss sees. Yeah. Kalau bilang all these dirty jokes lah, apa so memang ada lah, memang tidak hilang lah.
Yeah.
But I guess slowly lah, this thing is depleting, diminishing, pelan-pelan lah, makin hilang. So yeah. Wih, saya belum bebel. What is that? That was Chris. Okay, Sabi, thank you.
Okay.
I wish Serata all the best. I wish you
Yeah.
and Robert and Timmy. Hi Timmy. I hope Serata can go all the way.
Oh yeah, thank
Kan
you.
ada KL branch,
Who is it?
Semenanjung chapter. Yeah, I mean if you are, I mean mana tahu
Ya,
kan?
mana tahu lah.
So yeah, itu saja lah. I mean if you guys want to have like comments or you want, please share this. Not because it's my channel, because it's a very important story from Sabi. And kalau kamu ada mau komen, you can, I'll give descriptions down below on Serata, on her Facebook, on semua lah. And we get the ball rolling lah. You don't have to comment here lah. I mean this is just my channel, but if you want to comment here pun boleh juga. But it's important that you guys contact the NGO itself.
Yep.
And see what you guys can do lah. Macam-macam nih geng.
Yeah.
So this is Sip Sip with Egan, episode 13, ending now.